Hi everyone! It's Tirza Schaefer here. I had a bit of a break from life in this group because I had a 6-week course and that took a lot of work. So I've been fine-tuning that and there'll be another one soon. But for now I'm working on other projects. But what I love to do is using Goddess Reiki, and I am going to, hi Sue, your alarm worked. That is brilliant, I love it. Love you. Oh, hi Petra. Petra is my friend and godmother of my little one who is sleeping over there at the moment. She's also our neighbor, so we had coffee earlier. And she gave us a swimming pool, little one, you know, to like a blow-up one. Well, it's not that little, actually, you know, it's longer than I'm tall, so. Guess who's gonna go swimming tomorrow? It's very hot in Germany. Hi, Apaksha. Lovely to see you. What have I done? Okay. So I've just found out I can't play music on my computer while I am actually doing a live. So that's cancelling everything else out. And but doesn't matter, we can do it without music, isn't it? I just thought it would be a nice touch, and I don't actually have a stereo in the living room, so and I think the mobile probably wouldn't work so well. That wouldn't be such a nice sound, but I'll sort something out for next time. Thank you. Well, the sun's going down now and it's not as hot anymore. Earlier on when we were pumping up the pool, my face was like somewhere between pink and red. I was just sweating. So yeah, but and I had to help Tani, my nearly 16-year-old daughter, to carry some tables into the garden because she's got some friends over tomorrow night, and she was preparing, you know, cleaning them up and everything, so she's all set for tomorrow night to receive her friends. Anyway, hi Holly. Good to see you as well. So what I wanted to talk to you about, first of all, before we start on the actual healing, is I wanted to tell you the background of my Reiki journey. And it all started in the 1990s sometime. So my first Reiki teacher, who is actually my biological mum, I was adopted. So she, after my birth, after she'd given me away for adoption, she went to live in London. And when I'd grown up, I was allowed to trace her and find her. So, you know, I went to the UK as well, and I wanted to go there anyway, even before I knew she was living there. And so I ended up there for 8 years, basically. So during that time, towards the end, she was actually learning Reiki, which was still a bit of a novel thing at the time there. And she said, oh, when I've done the master, I'm going to initiate you and everything, you know, and she would give me healing, and I'd just be in her living room sitting on a chair, you know, so she was practicing on me. And at the time, my vibrations were still a lot lower than they are now, you know, I wasn't so far developed at all. And I didn't feel anything, you know. I didn't feel like now. When I feel the energy straight away. It's like they tingle on my head and things like that, you know, all over. depending, and I didn't feel anything at all. So I was skeptical. I was thinking, I was spiritually open. I was reading a lot of books about it, but I was just sitting on that chair and thinking, yeah, well, sitting for an hour on a chair with your eyes closed can make you tired, because I was always tired afterwards. I'd just crash out on a couch and sleep for an hour. So it wasn't conclusive evidence for me. And so I wasn't, I thought it was nice, relaxing in any case. But after that, then I had my son. I went back to Germany, which is where I'm still now, right here. And but she kept bugging me, saying, oh, when I come to visit next, I'm going to initiate you into Reiki, and you have to learn that, and it's so brilliant. And I'm like, whatever, I was really busy with, I had Tajan first, then came Tajani 3 years later. At the time, Tarani wasn't born yet, my youngest one. And so basically, she was wearing down all my defenses, and I was just saying, yeah, well, whatever, just do it, just to keep her quiet. Then I thought, just let her do it, and then everything is okay, she's not on my back anymore. I just wanted to have some peace and quiet over nagging. So, so we had the Reiki 1 initiation all together, the 3 of us, me and my 2 older children, with her. And then she said, okay, she practiced the symbols with me and everything. She said, tomorrow or the day after, she was there for a whole week. So she said, practice that. And, we talked about it some more as well. And she said, and then I'll do the level 2 with you. The children are too young to have symbols or anything, so it's all right. Leave them on level 1. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Still didn't feel anything. So I was like, okay. And then came level 2, and oh my God. My head was on fire. I woke up during the night even every couple of hours, and I felt like it was like a cold fire on my head, and I was buzzing with energy, and it was really I was feeling like, when you constantly have something flowing in but nothing goes out. So she told me you might have such a reaction in some way. If you just feel like you're a bit overcharged, just put your hands on the floor and just give it to Mother Earth, So I rolled around in bed, put my hands on the earth, and just let it all, go out. So I had that for 3 days and nights, and then I was like, maybe Reiki is something, I think I've got my conclusive evidence here, So that's how it started. And then I did the advanced level, I did the master one, a couple of years later. I think I must have been in, I don't even know anymore, 2004 or something. Round about that time, I'm not quite sure. And but because I was living in Germany, and my biological mom, my Reiki master, she lived in London. We've always had just like a couple of days, like a weekend course kind of thing, So we kind of rushed through the material, and I didn't use it for a very long time after that, simply because I was so bucked up, alone with little children and all that, so all the mundane daily routine kind of life stuff, that kind of pushed it to the background. And so that was quite a long time. And then when I started coming online more, and then started to be involved in spiritual communities and that, there were a few people talking about Reiki, and I said, sometimes I just put my hands on, but I'm not, drawing the symbols or anything. And then Layla did a Reiki session in a live. Layla Hardy, who is the owner of the group Mind plus Body plus Spirit equals Ultimate Health. She is totally powerful. She's a powerful woman, absolutely. And we'd made friends before that already. And then she was doing that, and she said, I was sitting there like I'm like all blissed out, and I'm like, oh, this is so nice, really loving it, and thinking, I really have to do something about my Reiki and read up on it and everything, and actually, I've got, if you see, hang on this way, if you see that bottom one, that's actually all my Reiki stuff right in there from that time, and and then Layla said, I'm offering level 1 and 2 online course in Reiki. And I was like, I have to do this, everything inside me screamed, take that course, and it was usually, my mind would have said, no, you can't, it's too expensive, you can just get the money, but you've got it already, put the money towards something that you haven't got a qualification in yet or whatever, But I didn't have that reaction at all, which is quite unusual for me, actually. You can see how good Layla is from that one. So I was... I was just straight away, I contacted her and I told her, I've actually got a master level, but I haven't really learned anything much about it, in terms of techniques, and I've forgotten everything, and the material is really old, and of course, like everything else in life that changes, Reiki has evolved a lot as well, and which is a good thing, obviously. And so I took the course with her, and it went over several weeks. I can't even remember. I think it was 6 or 8 weeks. I'm not quite sure. But in any case, it was so powerful, and I've learned so much. And she encouraged me so much, not just to go by the book, but actually, familiarize myself with the symbols and techniques again, learn them by heart and all that, but then evolve from there and see what is really good for me, what works best for me, because everybody is different, and everyone has different areas where they're very strong, talented, and she said, make it yours. I never forget that. She said, you have to make Reiki yours. So, don't go like a robot by the book kind of thing, but really make it yours. And then I did that. I really went into, what feels best for me, what happens when I give myself Reiki, when I give others Reiki as well. So what happened mostly was I was having visions. There were a lot of power animals and goddesses, but the goddesses also had messages, and with power animals, it was they didn't say anything, they were there, and they had a kind of energy to it, so if I wasn't too familiar with what these animals meant, then I just research and look it up again and kind of read up a bit more about that. Also the biological side of it, how they behave or what kind of lives they lead and all that, because that can give you clues as well sometimes, and with the goddesses, it was they've always had something to say, or like not in the sense always that I heard them speak. Like when I'm having a conversation, but the words were right here in my head, and it became more and more. And I thought, that's nice. I really like that. Now, and I love goddesses anyway. I was already writing blogs about goddesses. And so I thought, yeah, I do that on purpose. I don't just wait for them to come. I'll invite them, So I started inviting them and said, whichever goddess is good for this particular person or issue, could you please come and, give some additional guidance kind of thing. And so that happened, that evolved from there. And then after a little bit, and you're going to laugh now, I was lying in bed and I was thinking about the symbols and just drawing them in my head again and everything. And then I thought, hang on, that there's other forms of Reiki and like Karuna Reiki, angelic Reiki, or what, there's like a lot of them, but I think those are the most well-known ones. I thought, there should be some symbols for goddess Reiki, shouldn't there? I mean, it's, somebody had them first, channeled them and tried them out and decided this is not just for one healing, the symbol or those symbols, but I can apply them universally. And just like Dr. Usui did as well, when he founded Reiki in the first place. And so I just, kind of connected straight away with my goddesses and went, guys, I need some symbols from you. Are there any symbols, you want to share with me? And it was like, there was like a whole group of them, and all at the same time, they rolled their eyes and they were going, we thought you'd never ask. It was like they've been waiting all this time that I get this idea in my head, maybe I should see if there's some symbols for that one as well. So, excuse me. So I'm like, okay, blast me, give them to me. So, I got my pad and my pen and everything. Then, I saw those symbols and I knew how to draw them as well, which I didn't just see them in full, but which lines you draw first and which ones after, and, that kind of thing, and which kind of constellation you do that. And I channeled 3 symbols, a master symbol, which came first. And I had such a powerful, loving energy. I mean, I was blown by it. It was totally mine. It's my kind of energy. It's like, it's power and it's like love from like your heart bursts open, that kind of love. That was just so brilliant. Absolutely loved that. And then I got another 2 symbols after that. They are for 2 different purposes. One is a symbol of destruction. Don't get scared now. It's not about hurting anyone, but it's like, when you have old patterns and negative clouds, in your belief system, limiting beliefs and that kind of thing, and traumas that that still have an imprint on you, and that you want to let go, but they're so stuck. That's the kind of symbol you can use to be able to let that go, to break those patterns down and make room for new. And that, it's a bit like the Death or the Tower card in the Tarot, maybe, if you think about it, it's quite similar. Or, any of the dark goddesses like Hecate or Kali, the Indian Kali, the Hindu goddess. She's just brilliant, she's a powerhouse as well. I'm a great fan. And then the last one was a bringer of life. And that is all nurturing. And that is what you use then, to build things up, to nurture it, to bring healing and wholeness and that kind of thing. You know, this is absolutely beautiful. So those were the 3 symbols that I've actually channeled. And then I started working with them, you know, because I thought, oh, maybe they're just for me now and they're not universally applicable and all that. So, you know, I started to use it every time I did Reiki. I just used those symbols and oh my God, you know, I love them. I hardly use the Usui symbols anymore. Obviously, I use the distance symbol, so you know, so you have the energy over space and time anytime. You know, I always use that when I go on lives as well. So when you watch a replay, you know, you get the full Monty basically, and you know, but it's just. It's like really totally mine, and I'm ever so grateful to Layla that she encouraged me to do that, you know, because I used to tell her in between about this journey as well, my Reiki journey after we'd finished the course, and you know, and how I developed Goddess Reiki kind of thing, you know, and she was so supportive, and she was like, don't you know, don't question yourself, like, and don't, you know, doubt yourself and all that, go with it, you know, this is brilliant and that's totally your thing, you know, so it makes sense that that comes to you. And so I'm all excited about this now, and very officially and totally right here you're gonna have the power of the goddess, the divine feminine, in my Reiki. And so everybody who wants some healing tonight can have as much as you like, you know, even if I mention one name or the other, you know, if I tune into one person or another, it's still working on everyone. You know, I've set it all up that the intention is to go to everyone, even if I focus on one particular person at the moment. And let me just see. Oh, there are more. I didn't. Oh, hi. Lisa is there. Great. The nature discoverer. Audrey, how lovely that you're here. Great. Did I miss somebody? No, those ones I've said hello already. Great. I don't want anybody to feel missed out. So, you know, when you're here, just, you know, drop an emoji or whatever. So we're going to start on the healing now, okay? Right. You can Kalimata, yeah, affection. Hi, Rupreet. Sonia, yes. So whoever is here, hello, and we're going to start now. So you can close your eyes, lean back. If I'm going to send it generally, but if you have a particular area that you would like me to give you some special extra Reiki on, you know, you can drop that in the comments, and then I'll mention that when I'm doing it. You know, if you just want general, you don't need to have that, and you know, you don't need to have to write that because I'm sending general anyway. So, okay, right. So let's start. Relax, settle back, and just enjoy it. Right. Here we go. So, as I said, if you want any particular area to be worked at, drop that in the comments and let me know. Thank you for the hearts. I love hearts. I'm also sending to Kay Harris. She lives in Australia and she's still asleep because it's like wee hours of the morning for her. And I promise she gets some extra special kangaroo Reiki. No, that was a joke. It's okay. Oh, and Lily with you? Holly, wonderful. That's an honor. Love to pictures, so you two get a blast now. Holly, lighten up your thoughts a bit. It's a bit of a, well, it's not horrible or anything, but it's just a bit of a heavy cloud around your head. So, I think sometimes you tend to worry too much about things. So, make an effort and to see the bright side and do things that are fun and, see the good in everything. There's always different perspectives. That's very important that you train your mind to look on the bright side, and sometimes even when things happens and life throws you a curveball, you can feel like you're totally bugged under, or you can go like, okay, there's that light at the end of the tunnel, I'm going to focus on that, or you can say, okay, that didn't go so well, but I've got X, Y, Z, and that is just awesome, so let me be happy about that rather than be distraught about the other thing, so and just book it as a learning curve in your life, and there's no failure unless you don't try anything at all. And be compassionate with yourself. And Lily, beautiful Lily's got such a bright spirit. Got a lot of yellow around the head. There's spiritual awareness, which is not an intellectual one, but it's a deep inner knowing and a very good connection. So yeah. So it's good, Holly, that you're guiding her. That she's got that. She's got that with you. That she can talk to you about this and explore that. So Lily, you're a little bright sunshine all by yourself. Okay, Sue, spine and head. Oh, your migraines, isn't it? Okay, Sue. So that there's, I feel there's a bit stuck, well, somewhere around, your spine where the shoulder blades are. There's a bit of energy being slowed down and can't flow freely. So, maybe go and have a massage. And just have somebody, take their hand and just push up your spine like that while you exhale. You can do that quite easily. And, that'll stretch it a bit as well. So that usually helps. We used to do that dancing, actually, to each other. In your head. Yeah. Well, energy-wise, I see that more at the back of your head. Also going down to your neck, that there's a, more cloudy energy and cloudy, sorry, grammar. It's like the base of your skull, and where it connects to your neck as well, to your spine. That kind of area. There's a blockage there as well. Some bit of energy that's stuck there that shouldn't be there. I'll just try and get it out. It's a bit better now. Yeah. Good. Need to have a full healing session on that one. Holly, lower back and head. Yeah. Okay. Well, I've done the head already, but I'm going to have a look at your back as well now. Well, it doesn't feel too bad. It's. I think it's more a matter of strengthening the muscles around that area. Because when you stand up and you don't have a strong kind of muscle corset around your spine, because the spine is naturally curved, going like a bit of an S shape, isn't it? And then if your tummy goes out too much to the front and your pelvis tilts to the back, so your bum sticks out at the back, that can then also create some pain or some discomfort. If you work on those muscles around your middle, all that, that will alleviate a lot of it. So it doesn't feel like there's like a horrible injury or anything like that there. So you can quite easily counteract that. Rebecca, your legs. You've been working, running around. NHS hospitals are terribly understaffed, aren't they? Same here, but I think over your end is probably even worse. So I'm sure you have a lot to do, and then also running around with the kids, and then they look very lively from the pictures always. So yeah, to your legs. You know what you can also do when you lie down, put your legs up in the air and then just, take your hand and kind of go down your leg from your ankles down to your knees and a bit further, That'll also help you to get the circulation going. And if anything has been collecting around your feet, because you've been on your feet too long, then that'll give it also, you know, it's good to get that out again, and you know, get the lymphs to actually drain a bit as well. So before you start in your old age to get really waterlogged ankles, you might want to do something like that. You know, I think swimming is good as well. Anything where, you know, where you don't have all the weight and the gravity, you know, pressing down on your feet as well. So yeah, but just lying down with your legs up in the air, that, you know, just stroking down your legs for a bit, you know, apply pressure on it. That should be a good thing to start with as well. So it's probably all right for you. Yeah. Okay, Lisa. Sacral chakra area, please, and thank you. You're so welcome. So let's do that. The seed of your creativity. You have such beautiful pictures as well. They're just so vibrant and full of color and life. You know, it's just beautiful. Especially your dragons. Let's see. Do you feel a little bit like maybe a bit of a block in your creativity at the moment? Because I can't really find anything really terribly wrong with it. You know, I don't see any like really dark energy or anything like that. It's just a little bit gray maybe, but that's more, you know, more like a slowing down. Maybe it's at the moment, you know, the cycles, like that at certain times of the month, or the lunar cycle or whatever. You know, so some days you have phases where your creativity peaks, and sometimes it goes down again as well. So I don't think that's anything too, you know, terrible that you can't overcome. But you, you know, obviously I'm charging you up a bit more. Right. You're welcome, Holly. So welcome. Hi, Susan. Hi, Tammy. Angry ovaries, yeah. Okay, you've written it. I didn't want to say it. I was gonna, Alisa, I was gonna message you after about that. I wasn't sure if you wanted me to say anything on the live about that. So Endometriosis. I don't even know what an endometriosis is. I'm sorry. But I'll message you about that later, yeah, because that's going to be a bit too much for this one here for the live. Rebecca, you're so. Oh, wonderful! You're so welcome. Oh yeah, you said you've been working a lot, isn't it? So you must be tired and exhausted. Yeah, I'm so happy that I could help you. I see. Oh, I love you, Alisa. You're welcome. Right. Is there anyone else who would want some? I think Gavenda said she was going to come on and watch. I have no idea what kind of time converter she had. She might be missing out on this one, but Gavenda, this is for you. I'm just going to do a general one on you as well, so you can, get the blast on the replay. If I left anyone out and, I went over a comment and didn't see it or something, forgive me and just put it down again. If I missed anyone out, just let me know. Right, Kevin. Okay. And now I'm just going to do, nobody else has commented yet. No, can't see anything. So I'll just do a bit more general for everyone. I'm seeing the Norse goddess Hel. She is the goddess of what was later called Hell, which isn't the same thing as the Christian concept or the religious kind of concept. It's you can actually I'm going to post a blog link after this live, so you can read up on it if you're interested. But basically what that means is she's there to let you know that you should not let yourself be ruled by your fears. Generally there is a bit of an overall vibe of having a tendency to see more the bad side of things than the good ones. And she's just there to remind you that it's okay to be afraid. Everyone is afraid, but when you let your fears rule you rather than you ruling them, that can drag you down. So there's particularly one person who's at the moment who's more of a bit in a negative spin. So whoever that is, they will know anyway. But don't run away from your fears, face them. Once you do, things are not half as bad as they used to be. When you know what you thought they would be, actually. There's I don't know. Do you know the story from Michael Ende? Actually, is his name, but you'd say Michael End. He wrote the Never-Ending Story, but also Jim Button. And so Jim Button is a little boy, and he's always going on a locomotive with his big friend, the driver Lucas, and they're actually going through a desert. And there is a giant there, and I get really scared, and actually when I said, come closer, because they think, we're going to sail alone, ask for the way kind of thing, as they come closer, they find out it's actually a normal guy. He just appears to be so big from far away. So the further away you go from him, the taller and greater he is. So everybody runs away from him because they are so scared. And he runs after people to tell them, no, you don't have to run away from me. I'm all alone, and I feel alone, and I won't hurt you. I just would really love to have some company. And so, and they find out because it's what you're afraid of is usually a lot bigger in your head than when you actually go to it and break it down and look at it and think, okay, I can do that. So it's not so scary after all anymore. I was really so scared of doing lives. I was so scared of not knowing what to say anymore, of freezing up in the middle of it, and just stuttering around and things and all that. And so it took me so long to do that, to actually work up my courage and do a live. And then I think by the second or third one, I was like, okay, that wasn't just beginner's luck. It's really cool. It's fun, So what the hell were you so afraid of? See, what the hell with one L. There's the goddess again. So, yeah. When you actually face things, then and look at things and dissect them as well, it's usually not as bad as it seems. So, let me see who else. Sue, love the energy. All the places are where there's damage, erosion to my spine and or disc. Oh, I'm glad. Yeah. Oh, Susan Lurch. Susan, you've got heat exhaustion issues. Oh my God! Last week I nearly fainted in my neighbor's kitchen because my circulation totally went down because of the heat. So I absolutely feel you. Let me give you some as well. Oh, your head is on energy saving mode, isn't it? I can feel that already. Yeah. I'm sure you know to drink plenty of water, isn't it? Very important. What you can also do is take some cloths or towels, put them in cold water around your calves. And, that's how people drew the fever out of the head before as well, before there were antibiotics and things like that. When somebody had a fever, you'd always put that around your lower legs. So, because then the body heat goes down to, warm up the feet, so there's not so much in the head anymore that can help you as well. Or you could just... Sorry, you can just get like a little bowl where your feet actually fit in, put them in water in there and in cold water. That does a lot, helps a lot as well. we've actually blown up the pool and been spraying each other with the garden hose. I felt a lot cooler after that as well because I was fully dressed and all my clothes were drenched in cold water, so that was really good and fun. Yeah. So circulation, as mostly your head, but your circulation as well, Susan. So Rebecca, nurse, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you want to get your circulation going, it's probably good to put up your feet higher than your head as well, so you've got some more blood in your head. And rest. Just rest, because if you run around and you faint or something, you might just hit your head. And we don't want you to injure yourself further, do we? So, yeah. Yeah. Susan, you might also want to be careful when you go out in direct sunlight, not to stay in direct sunlight too long, and make sure that you've got your head covered. Baseball cap or whatever, doesn't really matter, but as long as the sun doesn't get through it. I mean, for me, I don't have that many hairs on my head, and they're very light, so I actually get sunburn, right on top as well on my scalp, because the sunlight goes through there as well. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. You're so welcome, Susan. Right, I think we're at the end. And if you want to go into anything further, of course, I've got the one-on-one sessions. One is $39, and if you book a 6-pack of sessions, because, some issues, they obviously take longer over time. So, to give you a discount on that one, they're $222 US dollars for 6 sessions. So, it makes sense to have that over time a bit. But, if you want to have one session, of course, you can book that as well. I'm going to put the link in here. Okay, no typos, no. So there you go. And there's another thing I wanted to tell you about is because, I'm on the Goddess Reiki trip here, as I've very enthusiastically told you about before we started the actual healing. And I am actually working behind the scenes on a couple of projects, but what I am aiming to do soon, hopefully for this full moon already, but I will let you know as I get on, because also I have to say, when it's that hot, I don't get much done because my brain gets fried. I can't think anymore, let alone channel or anything like that. So, I usually do some more in the evenings, but during the day, I'm just kind of let it pass, So, but you know, I do as much as I can. But what I wanted to do is explore different goddesses in a group, you know, in a goddess circle, and I would love to do that with the full moon because you know so many goddesses are associated with the moon as well, and so I'm actually planning a goddess circle for the full moon. I am going to charge $9 for that for each one, so you know that'll be obviously every 4 weeks. And somebody's having fun. Me too. So you know, I thought it'd be really brilliant, and you know, I'm going to talk a bit about what's going to happen. We're going to make a separate group for that, and there's going to be a live. We're going to talk a bit about a particular goddess. I'm going to tell you about one, and then we are going to have goddess Reiki and a goddess Reiki session, and really, you know, get those energies really powerful and all work on the same thing. It's just going to be totally amazing. So I'm going to, you know, as soon as I've set that up and everything, I'm going to post that, and whoever wants to do that, I'll put it on my website, or you can contact me directly about it. And as soon as I've set it up, you know, I would love to invite you to join me in this, you know. Yeah. And my aunt stands outside my patio door, wants to be let in. I don't know why. Probably because the cat is outside, so she doesn't make any noise. And so on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you for tonight. We've had, yeah, got the best part of an hour as well. So love you lots. Bye.